What are the common heat units and how do they convert? Imagine you're cooking in the kitchen or heating a building, and you want to know exactly how much energy is involved. That's where heat units come into play. Heat is a form of energy transferred between objects because of temperature differences. It's important to know that heat is energy in transit, not just a measure of how hot something is. Temperature tells us how fast particles are moving, but heat measures the actual energy moving from one place to another. The most common unit used to measure heat is the joule. The joule is the standard energy unit in the International System of Units. When we say heat in joules, we are talking about the amount of energy transferred. For example, when you heat water, the energy added is measured in joules. Another unit you might hear about is the calorie. Originally, a calorie was defined as the amount of heat needed to raise 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius. 1 calorie equals about 4.18 for joules. This unit is often used in food energy, like calories on a nutrition label. In the United States and other countries using the imperial system, the British thermal unit is common. It measures how much heat is needed to raise the temperature of 1 pound of water by 1 degree Fahrenheit. 1 BTU is roughly 1,055 joules. There are also larger units like the kilojoule, which is 1,000 joules, and the kilocalorie, sometimes called a large calorie, used in food, which equals 4,180 for joules. Converting between these units is straightforward once you know the factors. For example, 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 for joules. 1 BTU is about 1,055 joules. To go from joules to calories, divide the joules by 4.184. To convert joules to BTUs, divide by 1,055. Conversely, to go from calories to joules, multiply by 4.184. And from BTUs to joules, multiply by 1,055. Temperature scales also relate to heat measurement. Celsius and Kelvin are used for scientific work, with Kelvin starting at absolute zero, the point where particles stop moving. Fahrenheit and Rankine are used in some engineering fields. Kelvin and Celsius are directly related, with 1 Kelvin equal to 1 degree Celsius. This makes calculations easier when dealing with heat transfer because temperature differences are the same in both scales. In practical terms, understanding these units helps in many areas. For example, knowing the specific heat capacity of water, which is about 4,180 for joules per kilogram per Kelvin, tells us how much energy is needed to raise 1 kilogram of water by 1 Kelvin. This is why water heats up and cools down slowly, making it useful for climate control and cooking. So, whether you're measuring heat in joules, calories, or BTUs, knowing how they convert helps you understand energy transfer better. It's a key part of thermodynamics, especially when applying the first law, which states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred or changed from one form to another. This knowledge makes it easier to analyze systems, predict how they respond to heat, and control energy use in everyday life.